Very recently, I started posting my outdoor related content, but the truth is that I have been recording my adventures for many, many years now. And as I've been going through my old photos and videos, I came across some footage of a mountain bike trip to Whitefish, Montana. And what happened on this day became a memory, a story that I share often because it impacted me deeply, a lesson was learned, and will forever be engraved in my mind. Now, if you are a human, you have likely judged another person based off of how they look. And if you're really honest with yourself, I bet you can remember at least one of those times when you have been proven very, very wrong. Well, this is one of those times for me. If you haven't been to Whitefish, Montana, I highly recommend. It is a gorgeous, safe, clean little town about 30 minutes away from Glacier National Park. And in the summertime, it is known for its incredible hiking and mountain biking trails. We rented some mountain bikes and headed out to the trail, which was about a mile away. Trailhead was busy. There were all sorts of people out and about. You had hikers, you had bikers, you had people walking with their dogs, people running with their dogs off leash, big groups of people, people walking by themselves, and so on. And when you're on a mountain bike, navigating around them, your eyes are wide open, paying attention to your every move, and often calling out things like, excuse me, or on your left, and of course, thank you. So naturally, your mind takes note of who and what you saw. It was a gorgeous day. I remember being completely impressed with how good it smelled of pines. The air was crisp. The trails were groomed. The people were nice. What more could you ask for? One of the people that stuck out in our mind was this woman who was walking by herself with her dog off leash. I remember passing her and making a comment like it was a beautiful day, have a good one, and we went along our merry way. I remember being pretty far back in the park when we noticed a man up ahead. He was wearing a white shirt and glasses, walking by himself. We called out to him that we were coming up on his left. He didn't react at all. So we called out again, hey, we're coming up on your left, excuse me, no reaction. Third time, no reaction, which I thought it was odd. Odd enough for me to make a comment, something along the lines of, wow, that guy was creepy, or talk about a serial killer. Eventually, we got to a point where I thought, if we don't turn around right this moment, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it back to the bike shop. We turned around and headed back. I kind of thought we were going to run into that guy again, but we ended up not seeing him. We did, however, come up on that woman. This time, she looked very frantic. She was walking in circles, looking around. She seemed lost, and she didn't have her dog with her, which prompted us to stop. So we asked her, ma'am, are you okay? Are you missing your dog? And she replied, well, I am missing my dog. The dog is with my husband. I'm actually missing my husband. He has dementia and he doesn't have a cell phone on him. We asked her, was he wearing a white shirt and glasses? And she responded, yes. In that moment, I felt two things. One, I felt a lot of guilt, because that was the guy with dementia was the guy that I called a serial killer. But I also felt a very strong responsibility to find this man. Being on bikes, we knew that we could cover a lot more ground in a short amount of time. We asked for her phone number, told her we would keep our eye out and call her as soon as we found him. We got a little lost ourselves on the way back, making a few wrong turns, but we could not get him off our mind.
We could have gone the other way.
Which way?
The other direction, like
the one that we
somehow we skipped him.
Man, I almost want to go find that guy.
No, I do too.
I feel bad for her. Like she's got dementia.
Fucking,
wait.
She could very well turn around and went back to it.
Well, he should have a cell phone if he doesn't.
She was behind him, so I think she would have caught him if he had looped back. I'd be surprised if that beat us to that trailhead. How could he have?
There's no way. I mean, we did get turned around for a while, but I don't think he's at the trailhead.
I don't think he could beat us trailhead. I don't think.
And you know, my legs, the ones that were almost dead, that I couldn't make it back to the bike shop, well, those legs now had superhuman strength. We finally made it back to the trailhead and could not believe our eyes. There, in the same parking lot, standing by himself, surrounded in the same amount of people, was this man wandering around with the dog by his side.
Wow. He's here. Hi, Pep.
We mentioned who we were and that his wife was looking for him, but he didn't quite understand what was going on even after we explained it to him. After about 30 minutes of trying to call his wife, she finally picked up, and it turned out that they had actually parked on an entirely different trailhead, which was about a 30-minute drive from where we were. So we waited there with him, and when his wife pulled up, her face was much different. Her eyes were lit up. You could tell she was very thankful, and I'm sure very relieved that we were able to locate her husband. We stood there and talked for a bit, and I remember her telling me that if we ever made it back to Glacier National Park, we had to hike a trail called Iceberg Lake. And I've always kept that in the back of my mind, that maybe if we go back one day, we'll get to hike that very trail and we'll get to invite her along with us. So it started as a simple adventure, turned into something more. A quiet lesson forever etched in my soul about making quick judgments, hidden struggles, and the power of stepping up when it matters. A beautiful reminder that life's trails are for more than just riding. They're for crossing paths and recognizing the messages in everyday life. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that was cool.